Hello and welcome to Close Look.
This program is sponsored by Surrey Honda on 152nd and Fraser Highway. For excellent service and the latest deals, check out surreyhonda.com.
And the opinions that are expressed in this episode are of that of our own and does not reflect that of Close Look. So with that being said, let's have a great clean episode. And also, welcome back, Kerry Badgley. Let's give a round of applause.
Thank you.
Kerry, how's it feel to be back?
Oh, it's I missed you guys. It's been so long. What, like 2 weeks? 3
Yeah?
weeks?
Has it been 2 weeks? Really?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a
Hot
couple
damn.
of weeks.
Yeah, so thanks for having me back.
It's good to have you back, my man.
Good to see you, Dustin.
Hot damn.
Good to see
All
you, too.
right. Dustin, how are you been?
Doing all right. Getting a little suntan going on this fine particular week. We've had such wonderful sunny weather, and the temperatures have gradually risen, so I've been enjoying that as well as just still working. I still have my day job, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. I think it's important for us to get this out of the way. It's Sunday. A big happy Mother's Day out to all the mothers out there. I hope Dustin got to spend some time with his mom.
I did.
And Kerry, did you?
Well, my mom was
Sure.
working today, but we'll get together during the week.
Fair enough.
How about you, Dan?
I spent enough time with my family.
Yeah, I think I saw some pictures on Facebook. It looks like you had a good time.
Yeah,
you
it
even
was
did
good.
a little
It was
over
good.
there, so that's good.
Okay. So let's get into it. Dustin, who has the list of the? We're finishing up the song challenge. If you're just tuning in,
yeah, sure.
what
We're
number?
on
What number?
26 to 30. That's where we are.
Okay, 26 to 30 then.
Okay, so alrighty. I guess we're diving right into this first.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm psyched. Are you psyched? I'm
Okay.
psyched.
All right. Well, I'll read the first one. 26 is a song that makes you want to fall in love.
Who wants to go first? Kerry, Dustin.
One of you guys can go ahead.
Okay. Sorry, me.
Dustin, sure. Yep.
Okay, sure. This one, I don't know why it's not an artist that I usually listen to all the time, but I think this particular song from his kind of stuck to me. I always thought of most of my relationships with this song. I don't know why. It's by Chris Isaac, Wicked Game.
Maybe I don't.
I don't know. Maybe Kerry might know. It's that whole. There's that. You do.
Yeah, good song.
It's a good song. I mean, the lyrics is really what speaks to me the most about that song. Is because I don't know. It does feel like a wicked game that women play on us sometimes. At least from a male perspective, in a heterosexual environment, it feels like a wicked game when you're a date.
Yeah,
So,
let's be clear. Not all people do this. Not all women do this. I just want to be clear.
Well, I'm not stating that as I'm just simply stating the song that I would choose when it comes to thinking about falling in love. And this particular song is what I'm thinking of, at least from my perspective. I'm not saying that this applies to everything or everyone, but I'm just thinking, it is a wicked game. And, it's a wicked game to make me fall in love with you. That's one of the lines from the song. So there you go. That's how I look at it.
Kerry, now you want to go or you want me to go?
All right, I can go. That was a good song choice, Dustin, by the way.
Yeah, thanks, man. I thought it was a good song, right? It's a great song.
Yeah, I forgot all about that song until you mentioned it, so now it's stuck in my head. It's an earworm.
There you go, right?
Before you go, Kerry,
right?
Dustin, I appreciate that your internet is trying so hard. Do you have that cord is it plugged in?
Yeah, it's plugged in, man.
Okay. Kerry, you can go ahead then.
Okay. Well, for this one, I had a tough time trying to narrow it down because I'm a single guy. It's been a while since I've been in love, so I had to
Kerry, don't be like that.
dig deep into the pockets for this one. So I'm a musician. I also have a home studio, and recently I recorded a cover song for a friend of mine, which I did not know about before this cover, and I really like this song. So this one does kind of make me want to fall in love, and I got to go with Ed Sheeran. Perfect.
Ah!
Oh, that's yeah.
Oh, damn it, Kerry.
Nice, very.
That's my choice.
Damn it, Kerry. You know why I say damn it? Because that was gonna be my choice.
I tried to let you know
for Make You Fall, and I feel like mine is more justified than yours. And it's
to me, it was a new song. I didn't know about it before you played it for me, so that was really cool. It's a really good song. I'd like to cover it myself one day, perhaps.
It's a great song, and it means a lot to me because obviously it was a song that was played at my wedding. It was among the first songs that was. It was funny because my significant other, she chose to have that song at the wedding before it became the wedding song that everybody had. So she had it first before it became popular. So she was always proud of that fact. And yeah, now that I look back at it, it's actually a pretty powerful song, lyrically. So damn ambulances. Okay. So let's move from happy to just straight up sad. The next one is Song to Break Your Heart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Who wants to start that off? Me? You know what? I'll go first. I'll go first, guys. Because the same song that obviously brings a lot of great memories is also the song that, because we're not together at right now or anything. It's complicated. It also reminds me of the good times and stuff like that. So when I do hear it, I often have to it's weird because I have to condition myself not to react to it because it makes me tear up a little bit because it has so many memories and so many things attached to it that it does. It hurts me a little bit. So yeah, there you go.
So which song was that, by the way?
Ed Sheeran, Perfect.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I went double.
So not only does it make him think about love, it also breaks his heart. That's pretty tragic.
If that's not love, I don't know what is.
Love is tragic. It's a wicked game. Okay, so I guess I'll go next. This one is something that it's a Polish song by a woman who was very well. Sorry?
Is that allowed? Judges? Do we have judges? No.
Well, if you're talking about music outside of English, is that what you're saying?
Yeah. No, it's okay. What's the song? What's the song, Dustin? If you give us some.
Mamo. It's kind of ironic because it is regarding a mother in the title of the song, Do Ciebie Mamo, and it is Mother's Day today, so that's appropriate. It's a song that breaks my heart because it's sung in such a melancholic way. Like the vocalist, her name is Violeta Vilas. And she sings in Polish as well as some other languages, and she was well known in the 60s during that era, and she sang a lot of great songs in Vegas during that time. And this was one of them in particular, and she would sing, English and Polish, whatever language would suit the time, I guess. And Do Ciebie Mamo was a song about her mother who died, or passed away, right? So it's kind of melancholic in the sense because she sings about, the memories that she had of her mother, right? So it's a song that breaks my heart for sure, based on the context of the background of the song, right, and what it means to Violeta Vilas and all that stuff. So, yeah, Do Ciebie Mamo, that's the song
that's appropriate for it being Mother's Day today, too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay, all right. Kerry?
Cool. Yeah, no, I got to check that one out. I'm always open to hearing new songs, regardless of the language.
Well, let's break this quarantine and listen to some tunes and drink some booze.
It's the only way to pass the time, right?
It is.
Yeah, exactly.
Vodka.
Okay. All right. So for Breaking Heart, I kind of went outside of the box here. This is not necessarily a song about heartbreak, like in terms of love, but just a song that kind of makes me emotional every time I hear it. I can't really put my finger on why. It's just something about maybe the chords or the lyrics or just something that kind of instills sadness every time I listen to it, but in a good way, because it's a very good song.
I'm terrified.
So I gotta
this instills sadness on Kerry. I'm terrified.
I'm going with another 80s classic, I want to say. Duran Duran, Ordinary World.
Whoa.
Wait, that sounds familiar.
Oh, you'd know it if you hear it. It's been played everywhere.
Is it?
That's interesting. It is a bit
No, right?
No.
No? Okay, fair enough. I tried, guys. I tried.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
Oh, he said that it breaks his heart.
Yeah. So Duran Duran, Ed Sheeran, and Polish.
Violeta Vilas.
Vidas.
Anyway, okay. I think they were all great selections there for
this next one was hard. I don't even have a song put down because I honestly didn't know what to put. But maybe
okay. Row 28, a song by an artist with a voice that you love. So it could be male, female. It could be anything. It could be even an animal, for Christ's sakes.
You know what?
If you love that,
I know what I'm gonna go with. I think I know what I'm gonna go with. Just because of Dustin.
What?
So I'll go first. Yeah.
Go first, bro.
When the Party's Over by Billie Eilish.
Of course.
I mean, it's a good song. It's a great song. No?
You just can't get enough of her voice?
It's a good voice. She has range. And right now that's what's coming to my mind, so that's what I'll go with.
Right on. Hey, you know what? If that's the most recent voice that you heard as of today, then go for it. I mean, there's so many other crazy vocalists over the last 100 years, but let's go with Billie Eilish.
I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt.
That's okay, man. Don't worry.
So, okay, go ahead. Well, what are yours then? What are yours?
Mine? I'm going to give Kerry the shot first, and then I'll go with mine.
Okay.
All right. Well, I had probably just as hard of a time picking something as Dan did. I was really racking my brain, and I also ultimately went with something more recent. There's an artist that sort of emerged over the last few years who I think is very underrated. And as you guys know, I'm always a sucker for a good pop song. Something that's catchy, something with good lyrics, good hook.
Yeah.
And I'm really starting to like Dua Lipa.
Oh,
and,
she has that new song.
Lipa.
She has that new song out. I could have stayed at home. I was better off alone. Yeah, she has a good song.
Oh, Break My Heart.
Break My Heart. Yeah, that one.
Yeah. But the particular song I chose was another one off that same album, Future Nostalgia, called Cool.
Oh,
something about that song. Yeah, it's a really good. There's something about it. It just feels nostalgic. Like even though it's a new song, maybe that's part of future nostalgia. I don't know, but it's a really cool song. I definitely recommend checking that one out. And I mean, just to throw in a secondary one as well. It's not a song, but someone that's got a really good voice, I think, is Sam Smith. Very underrated singer.
There was also that other guy that you introduced me to yesterday that you said I would like.
Louis Capaldi.
Louis Capaldi, yeah, he was good. He's the one that has the huge TikTok song right now. What's it called, Kerry? I know you'll remember. If the world ended tomorrow or something like that, you'd come over, right? You know?
No, that's not the one.
Yeah,
he does.
One.
That's not Louis Capaldi.
That's the one that's the one that people play when it's sad. Like, if the world was ending, you'd come over, right? You know,
I know that song, but that's not him.
That
I don't
is
think.
him. That's him.
Is it him?
Yeah, we played it yesterday.
Okay, well, that's not the one I was thinking of. Here, I'm just going on Spotify.
I know
really
it's not the one you're thinking of.
gonna...
I'm just attaching names to songs. That's all. If I wasn't so worried about copyright strike chat, I would.
Just play it in the background. Like, hey, Google.
I would have loved to play a snippet of each and every song that we discussed, just so people had a better idea as to what the songs were. Because sometimes you forget a song.
It's not that kind of pay grade.
You forget a song, right? I forget what a song is. No.
I mean, there's so much information out there. There's like, I'm sure in a single day, in 24 hours, there's hundreds of songs being created globally, even probably thousands of songs in the whole world in a single day. And not everyone gets to hear all this music, believe it or not. So it's kind of crazy.
It's insane. Dustin, you haven't gone yet. Good song choice, Kerry. I like it.
I agree with Kerry. I agree with, like Dan here. It's really tough to just go on one particular voice over thousands, millions of voices that are being heard every day.
Decades.
I mean, we're talking about like years and years of like.
You got iconic voices like Prince, Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Amy Winehouse, Adele. Like, there's so many great voices, and those are just the name of some that I could come off the top of my head.
Yeah, Celine Dion.
You guys didn't see it. I did the thing.
Oh, Barbra Streisand in her younger years.
Oh, you see, that's a good song too for Break Your Heart. Like, My Heart Will Go On.
Yeah, for Celine Dion, for sure. Or like there's a lot of great artists out there, a lot of great vocalists. But in terms of like modern or like most recent music, there's a particular duo that I listen to, and it's The Do's. That's the group name, The Do's. And the song title is called Dust It Off. Now, the female vocalist in this duo is got a particularly unique vocal range where it sounds very like innocent. You know what I mean? I don't know if you can capture innocence in terms of like singing, but I would say that her voice captures innocence and purity in some way. I don't know how to. It's like hearing like, but it doesn't have those kind of like inflections that are like so intense, like in Whitney Houston's music or something like that, where you get like the that stuff, right? Like those very long notes that just go fucking all over the place. Like I'm talking about like something a little bit more pure and like straight tones, so they don't go all over the place. They're very steady, but they're strong notes. And I feel like she's got a very pure and innocent representation of singing those kind of notes. And I don't know, it just it tickles my funny bone, I guess, when I listen to her. So
tickles
I think she's got a great voice. I like the female vocalist. What can I say?
You also mentioned,
that's by The Dudes.
You also mentioned Barbra Streisand. I think that's another great song for heartbreaking memories.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And if we're talking about Barbra Streisand, I mean, Dan just recently saw Deadpool, so he definitely is all over Papa, Can You Hear Me? Papa, Can You See Me?
It sounds, it's funny because it sounds like, do you want to build a snowman?
That's where they got the idea for the notes.
I bet. It's just funny that I've never linked it together, and I totally forget every time I don't see the song. But I mean, like, even that movie has a great song, like, especially when plays Dolly Parton at the beginning, 9 to 5 working that. And then like when the truck falls, it's like some sort of like majestic song that doesn't fit the scene. So it's crazy. I love it. But anyways.
Yeah, but totally. But, I mean, everyone's going to find like different voices over the years. I noticed that for me personally, my video feed is going crazy. Is it going crazy?
It is going crazy, but it's okay. We can still hear you.
Okay, you can still hear me. Okay,
You're
good.
no less crazy than usual.
Yeah. I feel like it changes based on like seasons even. Like in the single year, I might like start liking someone else's voice. You know what I mean?
I agree.
There's always something new, and everything that's new naturally draws my attention.
That's why I was surprised when Kerry brought up Dua Lipa. Like, I knew she's been around, but none of her songs have really caught my ear or my taste. But then all of a sudden, I was on TikTok, and I was flashing through, and then you know how they have like the little musical ads, and like it had Dua Lipa, like her saying like, I should have stayed at home, and then I just started to like. Every time I saw it, I would stay a little longer, and then it'd be like, it's just like, this song, it's got me, just because it sounds so interesting. And you know what, though? It's funny because women, I mean, aside from honestly, maybe a couple of people, women have been the ones that will, you know, they always seem like they're the ones trying to break out of the shell or try to be different or try to act different, you know? So, yeah. Like you have people like Ariana Grande who are great singers, but are often compared to people like Celine Dion or Whitney Houston, right? And so it's hard, but they still manage to stay relevant or stay outside of the curve. Where male artists, I feel like still is a hard, like for some reason they just get like stuck in like either rapping or some sort of popish meld of the two. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just misreading.
I agree that there's not enough. Like there are not as many male artists that expose themselves as, say, the female artists. There's way more female artists that are exposing themselves in the music scene with their talents and everything in their musical range. The only like recent, I guess you could say, like male artists that I have a lot of admiration and respect for, especially in terms of like skill and talent, is Donald Glover. Childish Gambino.
This is America. Like, I love that song.
He has an amazing ability because if you listen to most of his tracks, like he visits R&B, hip hop, pop.
He does.
Like all these different like genres. He hits all of them, and he has the range. Like he can sing. He can rap. I mean, he can do anything. He can write, he can act, he can direct, whatever.
Yeah.
This guy is a Renaissance man of our time. And there's not a lot of people like that who are willing to dab into different sections of like musical.
Actually, yes, that and Bruno Mars. Bruno Mars can do that too. Bruno Mars is great.
Mm.
So
I agree.
Huh?
But let's. Sorry,
Kerry,
go on.
Kerry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think those are both great. I was going to add one more name to the pot. Someone that surprised me, and maybe I'm a little bit late to the boat on this, but Post Malone.
Yes. He's a surprise. He is.
I recently saw him doing a tribute with an all-star backing band from different, social distancing, different houses. They're doing a tribute to Nirvana, and he absolutely killed it.
Wow.
The guy can sing rock. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, no, Post Malone, I remember seeing him at a concert, like at one of these MTVs or I can't remember. But he was doing the thing for Spider-Man, the Sunflowers, I think it was. And I was like, I knew it was Post Malone, but when you see the guy, that is not what you expect to come out. So it's certainly interesting to not judge a book by its cover clearly, because, he crushed it. So I can only imagine. He's good. I know we're not done because I have two more songs on my list here.
Yeah. There are two more songs. Day 29, a song that you remember from your childhood.
Ooh, Kerry, let's start your
one. Well, it's kind of hard to narrow it down. I swear these last 5 questions were like the hardest out of all of them, for me anyways. But for this one, I had to think back to, of course, the era that I was growing up in, the late 80s, early 90s. And there is one band in particular that stood out to me. I just love their music, and that would be Roxette. And a particular song of theirs is "It Must Have Been Love."
Oh, how come that's
every time I hear that song, I'm just immediately brought back to my childhood when I hear that one. Sorry, what was that?
Can you hum it?
It's kind of out of my range, but it must have been love, but it's over now.
Okay, I know the song now.
Yeah.
Out of your range. Nothing's out of this man's range.
I just bring it down a bit. I can do it.
That's a nice song. That's an old song. It's not. It was like 80s, right? It's 80s.
Yeah, early 90s, I think.
Yeah.
But something about it just brings me back to my childhood every time I hear it.
That's interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Dustin, go ahead.
Oh, no. Okay.
I was waiting to see if he would elaborate on that.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm gonna go with Tom Petty. I Won't Back Down. I listened to that a lot when I was a kid. Yeah. R.I.P. Tom Petty, but I listened to that song a lot. Like in Saskatchewan, of all places, I listened to Tom Petty a lot as a child because my dad would listen to Tom Petty a lot. And, I Won't Back Down played a lot of times over the radio stations like crazy, like every day. In like I heard it even like in 1991 before I moved to BC. I still was listening to Tom Petty, right? So, yeah, I Won't Back Down, definitely from my childhood. Overplayed, but I still like it.
Good choice.
Okay.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
The song I have is "Lovers in a Dangerous Time" from Bare Naked Ladies.
Oh, Bare Naked Ladies again, nice.
I remember that sound of the cello that the guy plays. Like, I don't know, I can't do the sound, but it's like the one thing that like them driving on the back of that pickup truck and just like, I don't know, the sound, the melodies, they were good. They were just good,
It just stuck with you, right?
Yeah, it just stuck with me forever. I think it was like one of those first songs that like that you actually like realize that it's a song and you enjoy it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. Like, yeah.
It's one of those songs that you just
like
realize
when you
is
realize
a song.
music, when you actually realize music is a thing. Do you know what I mean?
No,
like,
I love your description initially. It's such a great description. It's like,
well,
it's
because
a
when
song.
I have nephews, and when you hear them like sing along with songs, they're just singing along with something that they've seen, right?
Yeah.
They don't understand of the melody, the song part of it, right? So when you actually like, when it's like one of those songs that like, this is a nice melody. Like when you actually like start to realize that there's music in things, right? So that's what I mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny. I actually agree with that, Dan. The way you put that, it's kind of the same reason I chose the Roxette song. Just something about those synthesizers, like the way they're layered in the background. It's like it's kind of one of my earliest memories, just hearing that song, and I'd wait for that song to come on the radio because there's just something about it, just brings out certain emotions in you.
See, yeah.
Yeah, because our memories are attached to that, right? It's the emotion that we feel. And that's when we hear that like melody, it triggers that emotion, therefore that memory,
The
right?
nostalgia.
Something like that. And kicks in the nostalgia into high gear for sure. But yeah, no, those are some good choices there for like childhood songs that stuck with us for a while. It's kind of funny, but yeah. The last one, guys, day 30.
Wow.
Can't believe it. We finally reached the end of this list. A song that reminds you of yourself. So I don't know if this is almost attributed to childhood a little bit, but I guess in a way it could be. I mean, it could be both, but you can definitely find some sort of song that, is your theme song, I guess you could say. My theme song changes every time, but I guess if I'm thinking about like what's present, I'm gonna go with the song. The spelling is RONG, wrong, by a DJ called Roy Scope. Okay, man, I can't. I don't know how to like you because it's got I don't know. I think it's got Swedish or maybe like some Swiss like spelling, but anyway, let's just go with the fact that it's called Wrong and the song artist is Roy Scop. If I'm saying that
wrong too.
I don't even know if I'm saying that right, dude. Okay, anyway, that's the song that is my that reminds me of myself. If you're gonna ask me why, just listen to the damn song. It's like 2 minutes and 30-some seconds, okay? And then you'll know why. There's a lot of curse words in it, so that's why it's. And I think that makes enough. That in itself is a description to the rest of you why I think that's my song, because it's got a lot of curse words.
Dustin does like cursing.
Yeah, I really like expletives. It's so entertaining to me. Just like the definition of, like that video with that comedian who did the definition of the word F, if you guys know what I'm talking about. I'm not saying the word right now, but you know what I mean? Like the
Who was the comedian?
The definition of the F word. Yeah, the meaning of it. You know
Who
what I mean?
was the comedian?
Ah, gosh. Hold on. I'm going to just search
Okay,
up the name of the...
Dustin does that. Kerry, do you want to go next?
Yeah.
All right. It's funny, me and Dustin kind of interpreted the meaning of this question differently. Dustin, you interpret it more as a theme song for yourself, which is pretty cool. I didn't even think of that at all. That's well, I was thinking more like
sitcom, right?
I was thinking more like entrance music, something powerful. But no, I interpreted this totally different. I thought of a song that kind of reminds me of like myself growing up, I guess. I don't know. And one thing that my mom always told me was that I actually learned to distinguish songs on the radio before I could even speak. Like when certain songs would come on, I'd point at the radio and I would know what those songs are. And one song that I always remember really liking for some reason, it's the weirdest song, but one of the first songs I remember liking on the radio and listening to all the time is 500 Miles by the Proclaimers.
Oh, that's a good, yeah.
And it's funny because that's one of the earliest songs I remember as a kid, and
that
I've gone
actually
on to sing that many times at karaoke events and stuff. So yeah, that's my choice for that one.
That suits you. I don't really know. That suits you. You seem like the type of person that would walk 500 miles.
I probably should walk 500 miles, to be honest.
I don't know if that's clinically healthy for you to do, but I mean,
well,
once in your lifetime, it's okay to go 500 miles, right?
I guess.
just
to go 500 more.
Just to fall down at your door, Dustin.
You better. I expect to see you falling collectively by my door.
He meant it.
It's Billy Connolly.
Who?
Billy Connolly's the actor I was talking about.
Okay.
Oh, the comedian.
Yeah, the comedian, Billy Connolly. This guy.
Oh, that guy.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
wow, I haven't heard of him in a while.
Yeah, this guy was the one who did the definition of the word F or something like that in some funny video on YouTube you could see. Anyway, yeah, there you go. Anyway, Dan.
So mine is Woe Is Me by Down with Webster. You probably heard this before.
Oh.
So,
yeah.
It's not the Maya one. I know when you say Woe, it's like Maya also had a song back in like the 90s. Woe. But it's not that one. It's Woe Is Me by Down with Webster. Down with Webster had amazing music, and they haven't done anything since. I don't know why. They're like a 2-album hit, and that's about it. They just I don't know what happened. They just
I don't think they're together anymore, are they?
Oh, I have no clue. Maybe.
I could be wrong.
But I've always been a fan of like
I'm always out there someone. Sorry, yeah, go on.
I've been a fan of always like incorporating like rap with rock or hip hop with rock. So that they kind of did that. Yeah. So that was always nice.
Yeah. What's kind of funny, Dan? You never really picked out anything from Kid Rock.
I do it on purpose. I'm going to be completely and utterly honest with you. It's all by purpose because these songs, like the ones that I chose, I do love. Don't get me wrong. But yes, there are certain songs in Kid Rock that I do like. Like You Never Met a Mother Effer Like Me is a great song. Yeah. I love that song. If you follow me on PlayStation, DWAC is actually from a Kid Rock song, The Devil Without a Cause. There you go. And I, like a Father is a good song. Only God Knows Why. Like, he's so many good songs from Kid Rock. And if you haven't actually listened to him, listen to his later albums. Not when he went full Christian and then had songs like Amen. It's so his earlier stuff is better than his newer stuff. But I mean, that goes with a lot of artists, right? So.
When he was into the drugs and the babes and the alcohol.
What was that? Bob to bought the bang, ticka. Yeah.
Oh, God.
If you are just joining in, we're at the half-hour mark. So if you're just joining in, welcome to Close Luck. I am Daniel Westbay. Dustin's going to throw an ad at you. Do your thing.
This program is sponsored by Surrey Honda on 152nd and Fraser Highway. For excellent service and the latest deals, check out surreyhonda.com.
And please remember that these opinions, anything that we say, is not reflective of anybody at Close Look. It's our own opinions.
Yeah, pretty much. We're just saying what we feel, what we think. So
a little bit of housekeeping. I mean, housekeeping is usually done at the beginning, but hell, we do our own thing here at Sweet Culture. Next week, because we all heard it, some things are opening up. We're getting a little bit of the loosening of the leash, so to say. So next week, Dustin and I will be at the Close Look. We'll be back in studio. It will feel good. And so I just want to... Are you excited about this? Are you excited about the overall announcement? We're going to get a little bit controversial because I want to be a little bit controversial here. Okay? I want to discuss this. What do you guys think about us being open, like everything starting to open? Do you think it's too soon? Do you think it's not soon enough? Or too soon? Do you think it's not any, or is the right time? Because basically, when Trudeau said this, he said it in a polite way, but overall, he's like, if y'all don't get your act together, there won't be a summer, right? So be safe, be cautious, don't do everything like crazy, because people, they tend to you give an inch to them and they'll take a mile, right? And that's, I feel like he doesn't want to do.
I agree. Sorry to interject, but I agree because I saw a picture of a lot of youth over I don't know if it was on Kitts Beach or English Bay. I don't know which one of the beaches, but it was one of the pictures showing the entire area being filled with a lot of people. And there was no social distancing whatsoever, right? There
wasn't.
It's like, and it's funny because there are these signs posted because some of these pictures show like the signs that are telling people to, keep like 6 meters apart kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And there are people literally just huddled together on the walkways next to this sign. And I'm just thinking to myself, yeah, that's what's going to happen. It's just going to blow up in everyone's faces.
Kerry, do you have the same sentiments? You work in this healthcare. You see the sales that are happening. Do you? Mm-hmm. What's your take?
It's kind of interesting. Like, I mean, obviously, I'm no Dr. Bonnie Henry or anything, but
I'm not. Yeah,
I think it's really important. It's to find the right balance between keeping ourselves healthy and obviously opening the economy, because things have to get moving. I need a haircut.
We all. Oh my God. We all do. But I'm surprised Dustin's not wearing a hat.
But as this goes on, I think it's really important, like Dustin touched on, that we all keep social distancing, 2 meters apart. Wear a mask if you can out in public. Wash your hands, because otherwise this could come right back, and we'll be right back to square one again. So I think it's good. I think it's a great thing that we're opening, but I think we all have to be very careful and do our part to make sure the virus stays at bay.
And that's what I mean, though. I mean, it's been shown in some human history where, again, this goes back to you give them an inch and they're going to take a mile, right? So I think this does fall a lot on the businesses to still try to instill on that social distance. Like, if you all want haircuts, we all know that when barbers open, that is just going to be an insane lineups for your barber. You know what I mean? So like,
well, actually, I heard from the barbers and hair salons, it's going to be by appointment only.
That's what I meant. Yes, it would be smart for them to either have more control as to how many clients they come in, or yes, appointments would be probably the best point.
Even if it's going to be appointments, there's going to be booked for the next 3 months.
It's going to be insane. It's going to be insane. Yeah. And you know what? And I don't think that. I mean, I do think that there are other things at play here for the virus. But if we want to talk strictly the virus, the reason why it's such a worried thing is that, yes, maybe we do come up with an antibody, and maybe we do get it to some people. But the thing is, what happens when you adapt to something? You become better at defending yourself at that thing. So that's what, like, if the bug does get out and has a resurgence, it's not going to be the same type of bug that we've been fighting, right? It's going to be a super, super bug, right? It's going to be stronger to the antibiotics that we will have not ready yet for us, right? So it is. And it's sad that we have to discuss hygiene, like wash your hands, cover your mouth when you cough and sneeze. Like, it's so funny that we have to discuss these easy things to do, and it baffles my mind. How many times do you go on the SkyTrain, or you're standing there and you just say, like a guy in line, like, guy, cover your. It doesn't make sense to me sometimes when I see people, how they act, what they do, and then it's like, you're the reason why I have to stay at home. Like, you know, you're the reason why I can't go outside. You know, and so it would be nice to it would be nice to go to the Walmart or a supermarket and not have to be. Oh my God! Today I went to the Walmart, and I knew what I needed to get. There were 4 items. That is it: meat, milk. I think the other one was. There were 4 items. I just knew what they were: potatoes, meat. Anyways, I knew where I needed to go, but I couldn't get there. Why? Because people are diddle-daddling. Like, they're stopping in mid-aisles. They're stopping where there's designated lines. They're stopping. And then when I went past them, like, social distancing, I'm like, bro, I know what I want. I don't need to be here for 6 hours. You know? It just baffles my mind. So I'm interested to see how people take this, but I don't know if it's going to go well. I agree with you, Dustin. I don't know if it's going to go well because you're going to see those beaches. Summer's just going to be.
We want to avoid a second wave, but we're also trying to get the population to be accustomed to herd immunity as well, because like inevitably we need to be immunized to this thing in order for society to go back to normal.
Would you get immunized? Because that's a different discussion altogether.
Yeah, but. The thing is, from the statistics of what had begun from way back in, like, say, January until now, many have already, many have had the virus with asymptomatic, reactions to it. So, yeah, there are a lot of people who already had it and already immune, but they're carriers. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So these people who may not be suffering at all, just by being in contact with other people, have risk of, like, we all go back down to basically people with the weakest immune systems are the ones who will be in the greatest danger, right? But herd immunity is pretty much that everyone has the virus already. It's in your body already, but you're not going to suffer from it. The other person's got the virus. They're not going to suffer from it because it's already in their system. Their immune system has already went through the bells and whistles to get through it. But because that's the reality of viruses, they're in us like all the time.
Yep.
It's just that we don't suffer the symptoms anymore because our immune system is accustomed to it. But maybe that person across the street isn't. You know what I mean? And that is the biggest fear that everyone seems to be going through right now and deciding whether or not to open the world back to its original state is. Like, how many are going to die from just doing this little open the door, like slowly? That creaking sound. You know what I mean?
Stuff's like, just going to hit the fan.
As you open it, like only for like an inch, and then all of a sudden, like 200 people die.
Someone farts, everybody faints.
Oh my God, I just opened it slightly. You know what I mean? Like, there's always going to be, and you know what? I have a feeling that inevitably we do not have control over that.
No. But that's what I mean by people don't, like, if you are feeling sick, if you are ill, if you are sweating because when it's 30 degrees out, you are freaking cold, stay home. You know what I mean? Like, it's that type of frame, because you always work with people, and I always get angry at these type of people. Kerry, you're working long hours right now. You must encounter people like this. I'm not entirely sure, but people who try to hide it, who are sick, they're sneezing, they're coughing in the corner, trying to be all elusive, but they're sick, and yet they're there. It's like, just go home. Why risk this? I get it. It's tough. You got to make money. You got to do things, and the government is helping, but it's not like to the crazy amount of extent that we need. But if you do not go home, then Kerry gets sick. And if Kerry gets sick, Dustin could get sick. I'm just using it as an example. Like, it's a chain reaction. We have to look at it as a bigger picture. Hey, William, how you doing? Happy to see you there. It's a bigger picture, and I feel like too many people fail to see the bigger picture. They have these blinders on, and it's me, myself, I, and my family. You know what I mean? It's not like, how will this affect Kerry's family? Does he have a family member that's immune deficient or sick or prone to sickness? I don't know. Right? Does Dustin have a family member that's immune deficient? I don't know. Dustin could be fine, but he could be, like you said, you could be a carrier. And then you give it to somebody else indirectly, right? Because you assumed you were under the pretenses that everybody that you're working with is healthy, you know? And they're not, because they're lying. I mean, this goes for the whole thing, not knowing how many people are actually sick. The numbers have been skewed from day one. I mean, all doctors are starting to come out and talk about that. And, you know, the doctors coming out saying, oh, yeah, we were told to say that the person passed away or got sick due to COVID, even though it wasn't due to COVID. It was due to something else, you know? And so there's tons of stuff happening out there. I just don't want us to go back into this, you know, as much as I'm a recluse. Dustin is a recluse. Us doing this inside is, we get a little stir crazy sometimes, but we know how to handle it. You know what I mean? Like, we know how to just keep ourselves fine, and you know, whatever. To me, it's whatever. You know, I'll go to the park. I don't care if someone's sick. It's what it is. What it is. You know, either. I think that's the other thing. If you're not like, and you don't care, then be prepared for the consequences if they happen, right? Don't be one of these people like, oh, that got me sick. Well, why were you outside? You knew you had something wrong. Why are you outside?
What was the term that the media has been using to describe those types of people? COVID-idiots?
Yeah, COVID-idiots. Yes. I'm sorry, Kerry, if this is not, hello, Mother. Happy Mother's Day. Thank you for giving us that nice compliment. I appreciate that. Yes, they are doing great. I mean, not as good as me, but they are doing great. She's saying that everybody's doing well. So, Kerry, do you agree with this? Like, I mean, you're the person that's about to. You just told me you're going to be working 12 days straight. You know.
Well, that's a little different. Nothing to do with COVID. We're actually moving our company to a new building.
I know, but that could take a toll on a person too, right? Like working that many days in a row, and taking you guys must be taking extra precaution and making sure nobody's fatigued or anything like that, or because that's all help that goes towards it. So
and well, just to touch on something that you mentioned earlier, Dustin, or sorry, not Dustin, Dan, but to twist it in a I guess a more positive light.
Way,
you're talking about like how it's redundant that we should have to be sitting here talking about hygiene, keeping hands clean and all that, but I'll admit there are times pre-COVID that I probably didn't wash my hands when I should have. Like, I mean, I'm clean. I wash my hands, but like, there's many times when I didn't even think twice about not washing my hands.
That's a bold
claim. And there's many people out there I know for a fact don't wash their hands at all. Like when they go to the bathroom, stuff like that.
Especially pubs.
I've touched my hands, and now I shake your hand.
So I think this might be a good wake up call to all those people to wash your hands, and to just practice personal hygiene, because at the end of the day, it's going to help us all.
I really hope practicing personal hygiene fixes the SkyTrain, man. That's like my only experience that I just don't get it. I sweat, I work sometimes, and I get it. You stink. Do you know what I do? I carry deodorant in my bags. Like each one of my bags have deodorant. Because I know that when I sweat, sometimes, parts of me stink, and I gotta, you gotta be respectful. And so it's just one of those things. So little things like that, right? And I think we need to abolish the handshake. I never liked the handshake. Do you like the handshake? I hate the handshakes. How do you guys feel about the handshakes?
I think that it has been a form of physical communication since the dawn of time.
You see Jesus walking around? Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello. We've been doing handshaking for over thousands of years, so it's like, I have no problem with it.
Okay. Kerry?
Yeah. Oh, I've always been a handshaker, I'll admit, especially in the music business when you meet new people. And, it's just a natural, hey, nice to meet you. I'm Kerry. And the other day, I actually reached out my hand to somebody who I was meeting, and it dawned on me. I'm like, oh, yeah, we can't do that anymore. So it's it's a tough habit to break. And actually, Dan, you showed me a funny video the other day about the handshake police or something.
Oh yeah, I gotta link that in the. It was I was watching Kevin Smith, not Kevin Smith,
yes.
not Kevin Smith, Kevin James, and he makes these little shorts, and
The sound guy.
yeah, the sound guy,
yeah.
and he had like the quarantine handshake, how it's gonna be after the quarantine, where like him and a buddy they were talking, and then like they ended on the handshake, and all you hear is like someone calling 911 saying, "Hey, I got a couple of handshakers here." And they're like in their masks, and like all of a sudden he's like run, and it's like they're just running, and like they're getting chased by the cops and everything. It's like life after quarantine. I think that's kind of how it's gonna be a little bit with like not to that extreme. That's a very extreme way, but it is. I think a lot of people will be like that unless you're with significant others or something like that. I think it's going to be like that.
Well, if they're going to do it to just plain handshakers, they might as well do it to every goddamn PDA person out there. You know what I mean? The
you just see people swap and spit. Guys.
Oh man, like people, like couples getting tackled by like the sunset. Just like some cops are with canines just going at these people who are like cuddling up by the rocks or some crap.
What? Okay.
I don't know. I would love to film it, but I digress.
I have a serious question for you guys. When all this does start to open, what is the one thing you guys want to do the most?
Get a haircut. I think that's like priority number one for me, dude.
Okay. Kerry?
Well, I wasn't going to say haircut because I think we've beaten that horse. But,
the horse is not done, Kerry. She's just sitting there.
The horse has 9 lives. But no, that's a good question, actually, Dan. And the first thing that came to my head, obviously, is a haircut. It would be nice to eat out at restaurants, but you know what? I find that having takeout isn't that bad. Just bring it back home. Like I've been dealing with this pretty good. So I would say the number one thing I'm looking forward to when this is all done is just interacting with my friends and seeing you guys. Yeah, and my family.
Well, the family can wait. It's the friends that are important. I'm joking. That's mean. Yeah. I think the pubs. I think my biggest one is movies. I want to see my
theaters open again because they've been closed for a while.
I don't think they're opening. I don't think they're among the ones that are opening in this phase because I do feel like theaters have to kind of approach it in a different ways. I mean, the floors were sticky before. I can only imagine like how crazy people will be now. People walking around.
A theater. It's like an incubator, basically, for the virus.
Exactly. And my God, man, the amount of times I've complained about people coughing or sneezing or, it's just, it's a crazy amount. And so I don't even know how they're going to do this. And I know I'm beating around the bush. I just want to watch my Black Widow. Like, honestly.
Yeah, man.
I just want to see my Black Widow.
Dude.
They released, what's funny is Trolls 2 got released on, I think, was it Cineplex online or something? Or on their streaming platform, I can't remember. And the cinema says they have made more money when that released than they would have gotten when it was like in the theaters itself physically. So that's always
the digital sales, right?
Yeah, the digital sales. Yeah. So that's always been my question as to whether or not the movies need to move to a digital platform. But I mean,
that is in conversation entirely on itself because it's discussing how business is going to change in the movie industry, especially because you're right. Universal was the first to decide, hey, you know what? Instead of waiting until September like Disney is with most of their movies, let's go with just releasing it to the public. They spend $19. They can have it for 3 days.
I agree. Thank you, Paulo. Paulo agrees with me, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
You know what I'd like to see on that point, Dustin? I'd like to see the return of the drive-in theater.
Oh, man, that's a good... Oh, yeah, I miss drive-ins, man. Perfect idea.
Yeah.
Somebody should... we have so much land over at Surrey or somewhere else.
They have it. Is it open?
Well, there's one.
I don't know.
Yeah, there's one.
There's only one, right?
But I mean, like, I just don't know how they're gonna. I don't know how they're gonna get around it. I really don't. Like, I just, unless you're like literally after everybody is done, like you would have to cut the number of tickets that you're allowed to sell for that theater, and then after that, you would have to specifically shut down seats so that people are only allowed to choose between the ones that you are specifying for them to buy. And then you would have to, after each one, like go in there with like a disinfectant and look like you're spraying down, like with the long nozzle thing, like you're just like with a big backpack of parasite, like just pesticide, just like, you know, like I don't understand what they're gonna have to do. So, but it's definitely gonna have to change, and it's sad because, like I said, movies is actually the one other thing that I really, really want to. That's like my other thing. It's pubs, movies, and haircuts. That is it.
Have a few drinks with my friends, that kind of stuff. You know what I mean? Like I the bare minimum. Like I don't need much. I just need to be able to go out and see some movies.
Yeah.
Get my haircut. Go to the pubs with you guys like we used to. Mm-hmm. Like the last time we went to a pub together, at least for me, the last time I was in the pub was Kerry's birthday. Like that was the last time.
Man, that must have been like just before the quarantine.
Yeah.
That's legit just before the quarantine.
Yeah. It was a long time ago, bro.
Do you guys even remember a time before the quarantine?
Yeah, I do. It was Kerry's birthday. That was the last golden opportunity.
Sorry, guys, I started this whole thing.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't you. I got a couple people on my list that I think started the COVID.
Well, yeah, a couple of people.
So yeah, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
I mean, it's insane, and I hope everything does go well, and I hope that we could, figure this stuff out. But I think I'm in. But human, don't mean that. Again, Kerry, I'm going to go a little negative here. I've seen human history, and I got to tell you, I don't have a lot of faith in the human race. So, it's always.
I like how you're touching on the Fifth Element there. A little bit.
Yeah.
I was thinking the exact same thing too.
It's the Thanos thing. It's the Thanos thing. You couldn't live with your own failure. So where's that bring you? Back to me. And that's what's going to be. I feel like that's what's going to be. Summers, things are going to happen. I mean, again, if it doesn't, great. But it's going to happen, and then COVID will be like Thanos. You couldn't live with your failure, so where'd that bring you? Back to me. So it's going to,
What did it bring you? Back to the virus, yeah. Well, you know what, man? I don't know what's going to turn out with this release. I know that it's the rule is in groups of no more than 6 in a space.
Yeah.
So that isn't actually. I'm kind of glad at least it's down to 6 and not freaking a dozen or more. At least that's reasonable.
Ooh, Sapolo says here, less the seats in theaters and less show times. More time to disinfect, clean between shows. We'll drive up. Yeah, that's true too. Yeah, we got to look at it. He says here, and he brings up a valid point. It could drive up the prices for tickets because they got to make that money back, right? That's a total shame. I would hate. Oh man, there's nothing better than Landmark's prices right now. I don't even go to a Cineplex or anything because I'm like, what? Basic seating? No reclining? Nuh-uh. I don't get reserved seating at all? Nah, I might as well go to Landmark and pay the what? I think it's like $8 to $12 or whatever it is that they have on special days or non-special days. And you get automatic reserved seating and automatic reclining seats. Like, come on. So, yeah.
That's actually one of the things that I think is going to be an unfortunate side effect of this pandemic once it's over. Because I think we're going to see a lot of price hikes to make up the lost profit, obviously.
Which basically means I'm not going to give them any business until it calms down.
Yeah, I'm not
going to go out to a pub and be charged $10 a beer when I could go to a liquor store that charges, what they normally price beer, which is cheaper than any outdoor. But that's always been the reality, though.
It has.
Every restaurant or pub has always charged more for beer than, buying it in a liquor store.
Well, guys, we are nearing the end of the hour here. We are less than an hour. We're gonna say one more time. We're gonna have our ending. So if you are just tuning in, we're at the end of the hour, and I am Daniel Westbay. You've been watching Close Look. Dustin, do the thing.
This program is sponsored by Surrey Honda on 152nd and Fraser Highway. For excellent service and the latest deals, check out surreyhonda.com.
And I'd like to say thank you to Kerry for joining us. Hopefully, the next time you see Kerry, he'll actually be in the Close Look studio.
Yeah. We'll have a proper interview with him in that case, right?
Yeah. Well, if you guys watching, if you want to see me in the studio, well, just remember we're all in this together. Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
And in the studio, it's like no more than like four of us?
4 of us, 4 at max, usually, So, and you know what? It's a big space. We're probably going to do some shows outside. There's some big things coming, some ideas that I have. So it's going to be different. Maybe a variety show. I don't know yet. I'm working on things. I'm seeing how everything works out. But yes, next week, Dustin and I will be at the Close Look studio. So I'm very excited. Looking forward to that. I'm super happy that all of you joined us. Thank you, Paulo. Thank you, William. Thank you, Colleen. Thank you to anybody else who was just watching in the background. I look forward to speaking with you. And if you, on that note, if you have a cool person to interview on either of our shows, Shaw Multicultural Channel or Omni for the Desi Close Look, please feel free to go to www.closelook.ca. The email's there, the phone number's there. We would love to get in contact with you, interview you, talk about your cool life, cool story. Anyways, thank you guys. Don't go anywhere. I'm going to wrap it up with a little bit of music. Don't go anywhere yet. I want to chat with you guys after a bit. All right, guys. I'll talk to you guys soon. I'll see you guys later. Please mute yourselves.
Yeah.
You know I met you in the dark, it was a Saturday night. Remember seeing you just dancing in the middle of the crowd. There was something about you, cause you got stuck in my mind. Stuck in my mind, stuck in my mind. I thought I'd give it a go and I started talking to you. I don't know what I said, but the next thing I knew is that I held you in my arms and you asked what we should do.